Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Out of the Park Baseball 26 with the Kansas City Royals. I think this is like episode 7 or something. We're at the end of season 2. Um, yeah, I mean, we were 80 and 82. We finished almost right at 500, which I think is, I mean, it's good, but it's not great. You know, it's good because it's showing improvement. It's not great because it means we're one of the best worst teams out there. And I got a little bit of time today. I got about an hour before I have a job interview. So I'm going to play for about 45 minutes. Do my interview, come back, finish the video, see if I can get a couple of videos in today. As always, guys, leave the video a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'd love to hit 2,000 subscribers here some point in the relative near future. I'm at like 1925 right now. So, 75 people who are looking for a place to go, send them here. Anyway, and then I'll also leave a link to the Discord below. So, yeah, we finished 80 and 82. We'll take a quick look at, actually, let's just quickly look at playoffs. Tree. So the Dodgers beat the Rangers in 6. Tampa, Yankees, Red Sox. So 4 of the 5 teams, because Baltimore made it as well. Only Toronto didn't make it from the AL East. Texas, the Rangers, Detroit. Texas and Baltimore. And then in the National League, the Dodgers took out the Braves, the Cubs, the Cardinals before beating the Rangers. So we'll start with pitching. I'm not all that disappointed with the way our pitching performed. Truth be told, Zach Gallen gave us 3 WAR. I mean, he was league average. Gave us 171 innings, an ERA of 4. I mean, he really wasn't bad. Actually, I have. I know there are a lot of you out there that like looking at some of the other stats, so I pulled up. I added some of the other stuff like Fit Minus and Sierra and things of that nature. I tend to look at some of the more basic stuff like WAR and BABIP and things of that nature. So Andre Palante had a nice first full season for us. Only 13 home runs allowed in 172 innings. FIP was sub 4. I mean, I think he was okay. I mean, we don't have an ace. We certainly don't have an ace, but we've got, a couple of, I'd say we probably have 3 threes, maybe 4 threes if you count Brian Wu in there. Reagan's was just okay. 9 and 16, walked way too many hitters. If those walks were down, if those walks were at about 3 per 9, these numbers look a whole lot better. But as it is, I don't know. We got him for another year at 7.6, so we'll kind of see what happens there. Brian Wu, after he came on, a little bit better than he was with Seattle. His stuff and his home run allowed ratings both dipped, although the potential is still there, so I'm hoping he bounces back. Jack Leiter was, he walked too many batters, gave 21 home runs in 96 innings, so hoping maybe we can grow this year and kind of see how it goes. I'm not entirely sure. Our bullpen was fine. Our bullpen was good. You look at just some of the raw numbers, ERAs in the 2s. Spire was really good for a second consecutive year for us. Henkes was really good after missing all of 2025 with an injury. He came back and he was fantastic for us. Kerkering was great after missing most of 2025. Zerpa threw almost 100 innings. He was really good. Matt Brash, after coming, he was in AAA all of last season before we picked him up, but he was really good for us. So happy to have him. Garrett was fine, no complaints. Brought up Ben Hernandez towards the end of the season. Good personality, ground ball guy. These are the types of pitchers I like. And he performed in 8 1/3 innings. Luke Little was fine as a Rule 5 guy. 2.68 ERA, only 34 hits in 50 innings. And then Chase Hampton was a Rule 5 guy who I'm hoping will grow into this. This would be one of our best starters if he ended up at 55, 50, 60. So we'll see how the offseason goes for him. Offensively, Bobby Witt with a casual 9.9 WAR season. He was a 40-30 guy, 40 home runs, 30 stolen bases. He potentially is the league MVP. We'll see what ends up happening. Sal Perez in his swan song with Kansas City hit 19 home runs, drove in 78. We will not be bringing him back. Peyton Eels, not bad. I mean, not bad. He was 2.2 WAR, stole 33 bases. Got on base at a 350 clip, which is fine. Drew Gilbert had a nice full season for us. Yeah, he was above average with the bat. He was, I think, pretty good defensively too. Yeah, he was good defensively out in center. Sal Frelick was just okay. I expect more with these ratings, so I'm hoping there's some more development there from him. He was good in left, but yeah, the bat wasn't great. Pasquantino drove it over 100. Vinny's had back-to-back decent seasons. That average was down this year, but ultimately not a terrible year. Mauricio put together another good season before getting hurt right at the end of the year. Drew Waters was okay. Drove in 70 runs. Stole 19 bases. Ben Williamson, after we picked him up, hit 272. I mean, if you can give us a 700 on base percentage and play a really elite third base, you take that. Brought up Carter Jensen to see how he could perform, and I moved him right back to catcher because his catcher ratings are better than either of my other catchers at the moment. Yeah, I mean, he's just 23, so there's development there. And then Massey had a bad season that was predicated or that was driven by just some absolutely horrendous infield defense. We got to come up with a better plan at second and at second next year. So that's kind of how things went. We got Caglione, who's out for 3 months. He'll be in AAA next year. He's still a year away at a minimum. Some of our draft picks, DeCaro, looked pretty solid. He was our first round pick, looked really good in a couple of starts in A-ball. Our rookie boss will probably move him up. I think Bo Peterson was our second round pick. Yeah. Not quite as good, but just 19 years old. Two-way guy. We'll give him some time to develop. Yeah. So, we've got, I think, some pieces. It's off-season time. So the first thing we'll do is actually, you know what? The first thing I want to do is I want to look and see if there is a scout available. No, I was hoping for a highly favored tools guys that was kind of like this, but that's fine. It's player development. Carter Jensen. Let's just start with his defense. Let's see if we can improve his defense at catcher. Chase Hampton. What do we want to work on with him? Movement. He could be important for us. Brian Wu. We will work on his stuff. Try to increase the velo, I guess. I don't want to do anything to Bobby because I don't want to screw him up. Williamson, we will work on his quality of contact. Let's see if we can get Leiter's stuff to get better too. I don't know that there's anybody else here. Kerkering. Let's see if we can work on Kerkering's control because he had some room to grow there. Leaves us with 4 spots. I won't be able to do anything with Caglione because he's hurt. But some of the other guys, yes. So DeCaro, high work ethic. I think he might still be a little too young. I've read somewhere that 21 to 23 is kind of that sweet spot. So we will hold off on. Let's put Caden Bodine in there and try to improve his defense at catcher. I think we did that last year and it failed, but we'll try it again this season. Andrew Fisher, no. Baseball IQ, high adaptability. I think we go back to here. So we got 3 spots left. Mauricio's been good. Let's try to. Oh, wait, right, he's injured. I can't. Hernandez. We got Williamson, Hampton. There's not really anything I can work on with Luke Little that would be. Did we put Leiter in there? All right, let's put Jack in there. Let's. What do we want to work on? I guess the stuff. Is he in there already? Oh, he's right there. Yeah. All right, Gilbert. Sure. Let's work on plate discipline with Drew Gilbert. Sal Frelick. We're going to work on the quality of contact. We got one more. Let's see if we can get Eels better at second base, because if we can make Peyton our starting second base, he's not that far off. I mean, those aren't terrible ratings. But if we can get, a 5-point uptick in all of those, all of a sudden he becomes our starting second baseman, and that gives us some flexibility at DH. All right, so now we've got arbitration. There are a lot of players that are eligible for arbitration. First, let's go through here and see if there's anybody we want to sign. Groshans looks okay. He looks okay. Really just looking for anybody that still has some development potential. There. In fact, you know what? We're only a year into this, so I think it still makes sense to just offer everybody. And then starting next year, we'll be able to kind of cut bait and go with some of our draftees. It's kind of the thought. So we got a lot of arbitration offers. What does Perez want? Yeah, nope. All right, so Velazquez, I don't think anybody wants him. I mean, we'll offer him out there, but I don't think anybody wants him. If not, we'll just non-tender, which is fine. Yeah. All right, so we will non-tender him. I think we will non-tender Freddie Fermin as well. We got Gasser, who's going to be back in 7 months. Yeah, I mean, at 1.7, it'll be 1.1625, I think. 16 million. Palante wants 6. We'll come back to it. I mean, I'm going to offer it, but I want to offer some of the cheaper ones first, just to get those sort of locked in. Brash wants 2.8. Sure, that works. 3 years for Matt Brash. Reed Garrett at 1.3. Yep. 250. Henkes next at 4.4. So what if we offered him 3 years, 3.8? We do that. He would. Okay. Cool. Spire, we will offer him at 3.250. Will that work? Or does it have to be 3.3? No, 3.250 works. Zerpa at 2.8. I think those are some good offers for some relievers, and we'll see if we can offer Kirkering here. What is his? I offered Henkes because his arbitrate. He was his the words out. His arbitration numbers were he was going to be up. I think 2027 would have been his last year. Kirkering, we still have a couple of years, 4.79. All right, so what if we went out to 5 years for him? Yeah, I'm not giving him 20 million. Okay. So if he wants 4 this year, so 3.8. I'm not paying a reliever $20 million. And then Sal Frelick at 2.436, 2.375 should do it. Back to Palante at 6. Cool. Okay. 3 years, 17 million. That buys out all of his arbitration numbers, and that assumes that he will pitch like he did this year, which I'm totally fine with. So I think that's everything we need to do. I want to make sure I've got. Yeah, I don't deal with my minor league personnel. I know I probably should, but it's just not something I can be bothered to do. I'd rather just play the game than go into hiring HR simulation, if you will. All right, I had a suggestion from one of my commenters that we look to move Blake Mitchell. Let's see what sorts of offers are available. Because, Mitchell, he looks all right. He's got a high work ethic, but defensively, he's not that much better than Carter Jensen. And then we've got Caden Bodine, who's coming up, whose bat is just as good. So, maybe there's an opportunity for us to pounce on, a pitcher or a young hitter or something that can take that spot. Hunter Brown from Houston, Robert Colina from the Angels. Ground ball guy. I like the ground ball guys. Meckler's a high contact guy with no power. Rojas, high contact guy, good defensively. Jack Sawinski, if we're looking for a bat. He hit 24 home runs last year for Philadelphia. Yeah, not a lot of Nolan Gorman from the Cardinals. Yeah, he's fine, I guess. What if we did Mitchell and Massey? Okay. Now there's some interesting offers coming in. Meadroth is now with Atlanta. There's a high on base guy. That would be our leadoff hitter. It's not. He's listed as a third baseman here, but he's not a third baseman. Vargas, pretty good bat. Had a good season last year for the White Sox, but doesn't really have a position. There's the solution to our catcher problem. Oh, that is the solution. If that's what we want to do. I'm thinking that's probably the answer right there. But we will see what else is available just to make sure we're not overlooking anything. Paredes is good, but that ARB number jumped up. We got Logan O'Hoppe. Better offensively than Romo, but not nearly as good defensively. Detmer signed a long-term deal. Honeycutt's great defensively. I keep checking my phone for the time. I just gotta make sure I don't miss my interview. I think we're gonna talk to Colorado and see if we can. Kyle Harrison doesn't look as good as he has in previous saves. But knowing that that's a name that's out there that I could potentially trade for. Cameron Colley's really good defensively. Yeah, see, Abrams, he looks like he's going to be one of those guys. There are a lot of these guys in Out of the Park 26 that have this it happens with pitchers and hitters, either really high potential for contact or stuff for pitchers, and it just never develops. So they always look like they're going to be elite, but they never end up hitting that threshold. So let's talk to Colorado here. So ideally, we also get back somebody who can play the infield. That's the best case scenario. Estrada's very good defensively. He's a free agent. pending free agent, so I can't include him in the deal. Tovar, I'm assuming, is a non-starter. Yep. What about Amador? No. McMahon is signed through next season. He's more of a, I mean, he's a third baseman, right? With the arm and the turn DP, and we don't really need a third baseman with what we have. Bouchard. Yeah, I'm not prepared to give up really any of these names. Jones is a first baseman, but he's a good bat. So I get Drew Romo and Nolan Jones for Blake Mitchell and Michael Massey. Now that leaves us. Jones would be, I mean, I think best case scenario here, Jones becomes our DH against righties with Eels playing second. But that's going to require Eels to get better defensively. Those are decent ratings against righties. He's a captain, so we would bring in both Romo and Jones, who are both captains. Doesn't solve the I need a middle infielder issue, but I feel like finding a starting second baseman, if absolutely necessary, won't be that difficult. Yeah, I mean, Massey's bat was okay last year. This past year, he was slightly below average. Doesn't walk. He was terrible defensively. I think we do this. Blake Mitchell, Michael Massey for Drew Romo, and Nolan Jones. So yeah, I think that's a really good swap for us there, as we now get one of the best defensive catchers in the league to man our pitching staff. He's just 25 years old. Yeah, so I think right now our biggest, I mean, if we can find a power bat in the outfield, and then pitching, I think is and then that second baseman. I mean, I'm hoping Eels just develops and he is that solution at second base. We'll just have to wait and see. So we're gonna go ahead and thank you for that suggestion. By the way, I forget who it was. In fact, I'm gonna go in and look now. Paul Standish. He was the one who made the suggestion. And because of that, we end up with Drew Romo as our catcher. So, Paul, thank you very much for the suggestion. Puts us in a good place, I think. Brash signed, Garrett signed, Spire, Palante, Wu, Gasser, Kirkering. We get a fan interest bump for Kirkering. Where is our fan interest right now? A 70. All right. I feel like you pick up a couple of captains, that number should go up more, but it didn't, so that's okay. All right, Gold Gloves. Zerpa signs. Yeah, Witt probably is going to win the MVP. Gold Glove Awards. He won the Gold Glove at short as well. So, yeah, he was a Gold Glove winner. Gave us almost 10 WAR. No relievers of the year. How much did they pay Silva? Yeah, see, there's something broken in the game. And I know they just loaded a new patch, so I'll have to take a look, but there's something broken in the game. These international free agents that come in when free agency starts are all getting $30-40 million, whether they're a batter or a pitcher. So Bobby Witt wins the Silver Slugger. No surprise there. Rookie of the Year, Brock Jones. Mikey Romero finished second. NL, if you want to see it. I forgot to look at the Silver Sluggers in the NL. You can take a look there. Manager of the years, Dave Roberts. Yeah, I wish they would. Usually, the manager of the year is the manager that their team makes the World Series or wins the World Series, and that's not always the case. So, Shane McClanahan wins the Cy Young. DJ Hers in the National League, good for him. And now the MVP. Yep, goes to Bobby Witt, and he won unanimously. So we have an MVP, a Silver Slugger, a Gold Glove, and they are all the same person. Oh, I forgot to do International Amateurs. I forgot to run practice. I did this offline. I didn't think you guys cared to see it. So yeah, we'll get up to arbitration. We'll get to free agency, and we'll see what's available. I got about 15 minutes before I got to pause here and get ready for my interview. I just got to change. I'm wearing a hoodie right now. I got to put on a shirt and tie as one does for an interview. And then I'll do my interview, and then I'll be back. Arbitration. We don't have anybody arbitration eligible. Oh, Nolan Jones. Okay. Oops. That is fine. Not a problem there. And now free agency. I'm going to talk to San Francisco about Harrison. They offered him up, so maybe they don't value him as much as potentially I would. We'll see what's here first. All right. We got Frank Lopez. Nope. 25-year-old, 26-year-old. Doesn't look like we have any 23-year-old free agent here with a wicked bat. Meh. What do we have for free agents? Doesn't look like much. I mean, I'll take a look, but let's go here and here. San Francisco. I was hoping they'd be in rebuilding mode because a lot of times they're willing to move Logan Webb. I mean, it's a possibility. Harrison. So nothing. I mean, they're willing to give up Logan Webb, who signed for a couple of more years, 23 and 24. Let's look at some of the players I'm willing to actually give up. Because, I mean, in the end, you look at the free agents. You get Sale, who's out for 6 months, wants $32 million. Alcantara wants 24, and it's a comp pick. Suarez wants 20. Bieber wants 14. Boyd wants 24. Giolito wants 15. I mean, are any of those better options than Logan Webb at 24? Maybe Suarez, but he's got a really bad personality. And we've got plenty of money, so at second base, what options do we have? Gavin Lux, who was really bad at second last year. Estrada, $28 million for Thairo Estrada. No, thank you. Yeah, let's that's not what I wanted to do. All right, so let's see if we can make this work. Let's see if we can pick up a Logan Webb. So let's start with our number one pick from our first year. I can't imagine that he's going to have any value at this point. Let's see if I can even find him. There he is. So that doesn't move the needle, as they say. What if we added Cade Anderson? All right, we're getting there. Again, not willing to give up any of these players. Jensen and Romo is my catching tandem, so I can't Can't really do that. What about Spencer Nivens? All right, now we're getting somewhere. Now we're getting somewhere. Water's one of my best defensive outfielders, so I can't move him. What if we... He's a fan favorite, though. That's the problem. Wait, I think Webb is selfish, too. Yeah, but that's okay. He's getting better, so I don't want to move Vital Shies. We could move Yeri Perez. He's a Rule 5 guy. Well, Nick Prado, you can have Nick Prado. Can we pull back any? Is there anybody I want to pull back? I don't care about Nivens. I don't care about Prado. I really care about Schubart because he doesn't really have a position anymore. Anderson, he's got a terrible personality. He's just a reliever. It's really Yeri Perez and what I think he's going to look like. And I have to think that we can, yeah, okay. I was going to say, I have to think we can use Perez to finish off another move somewhere. You want Tanner Jones? You can have Tanner Jones. All right. Are we good here? I think we're good here. So we're going to trade Nolan Schubart, Cade Anderson, Spencer Nivens, Tanner Jones, and Nick Prado to the San Francisco Giants in exchange for Logan Webb. Now, Webb's ratings obviously don't stand out, but he always just performs. Missed all of 2026, so hopefully when he comes back, he will be like he was previously. Extreme ground ball guy. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and make this deal and get ourselves essentially our ace. That was something we had been lacking, and now we have one. City Royals, put Logan Webb on the active roster. So, I mean, I think, it allows us to kind of move around, kind of play around with some stuff, like potentially moving Cole Reagans during the season. There goes my alarm reminding me that I have an interview in 30 minutes. Let's go here and here and here. And now I think we sim ahead to the winter meetings. I really don't like our scout, but that's okay. Yeah, let's sim ahead a few days. We got Robert Gasser. We got all these starting pitchers. If they're all healthy, our staff's not terrible now. We don't need to do anything to our bullpen. If we look at our lineup, we have Romo as our catcher. We have Pasquantino as our first baseman. Right now we have Eels as our catcher, or as our second baseman, depending on what happens with his development. Witt at short, Williamson at third, Frelick in left, Gilbert in center, Waters in right, and Jones as our DH. That's the lineup right now. I mean, we could use an outfielder. We absolutely could use an outfielder. That might be something we're able to address. Yeah, there's nobody available right now. That might be something we're able to address during the winter meetings. That's the word I was looking for. Because I don't think Tyler O'Neill wants $28 million. Not really ready to offer him that. At least Robert is not really the same guy he was. I mean, although he's great defensively, he's not the same guy he was before. O'Neill wouldn't be a bad get if he wasn't asking for $28 million in a comp pick. He absolutely torches left-handed pitching. Ian Happ, maybe. I mean, it's a comp pick. We have no money available for extensions, and that's because of the money we just gave to Logan Webb. But got a player option on Gallen. We'll probably decline that. Yeah, I mean, we'll have money to play with. I'm not terribly worried about that because we just got a fan interest bump from signing Webb. So let's go ahead and sim up a bit. I wouldn't mind Ian Happ. I hope he doesn't sign until the. Hang on just a second, guys. Hope he doesn't sign until the winter meetings. That at least give us an opportunity to see kind of what's available in the winter meetings before we go and start offering, big contracts to anybody. Contracts that would potentially force us to give up a draft pick. Mr. Posey, A-Rod, CC. That's it. Yeah. Joel Pedroia made 25% in his first year, so we'll throw a vote towards Petey. All right, let's get to the winter meetings. And I think, guys, what I'm going to do is I think I will pause at the winter meetings so that I can get ready for what I got to get ready for. Carter Jensen, no improvement. No improvement from Bodine, no improvement from Eels. That really stinks. All right, so we got to go back into development, though. Romo, we're just, you know what? Let's work on Drew Romo's bat speed is home run power, right? Jensen. Let's work on his power as well. And then we have one spot left. And we'll throw it at Eels. See if we can work on Peyton's. Let's generate bat speed for all of them. Let's see if we can generate a little bit more home run power. Winter meetings. Well, we added an elite level catcher and an ace starting pitcher to our rotation. Let's see if Happ is still there. What's his contract demand? No one's offered him a contract yet. All right, well, that's good to know. And then if we look at the trade block, anybody can play the outfield technically. We got Zach Wheeler on there making 20-something million, 42 million, never mind. And then a couple of relievers. We don't really need a reliever. We got Bouchard on there again. Eels, Gasser, Gilbert, Ricardo. Okay. All right, so I'm going to pause here, guys. I will come back after my interview. Keep your fingers crossed. Hope it goes well. Thanks. All right, we are back, and we are at the winter meetings. So what's going on here? Why is Colton Hartman? Is the game still doing this thing where it's moving a bunch of players to DFA? All right, so we are at the winter meetings. And I think when we look at our team, catcher obviously we're fine, shortstop we're fine. I think we're okay with Williamson at third. I think we're fine with Jones and Pasquantino at first. Our outfield, we don't have enough power in our lineup. Waters, Gilbert, Frelick, they're all contact-ish type hitters. Frelick has probably the most upside as far as a contact guy goes. But neither Gilbert nor Waters is anything spectacular from a hitting perspective. They're both pretty good defensively. But from an offensive perspective, they're not terrible, right? I mean, it's not great, but it's not terrible. I mean, we could definitely use an upgrade in the outfield. I mean, I'm still fine even with Eels where he is. I'm okay with him defensively there. I mean, he was not good defensively last season, so I'm not crazy about the idea of playing him at second base every day, but if we have to, we can. And there's not really anybody on the trade block that I look at and go, yeah, this is a guy we gotta go out and get. Not a lot of power. You got Adele and Buxton, and Buxton as a is a 10-5 guy and won't take the trade. Sean Bouchard, again, I could keep coming back to him. He's all right. I mean, those are pretty good ratings against lefties, but the demand for him maybe a little higher than I would like. Yeah, and I don't really want to give up any of those guys for him. I would almost rather find a. We can find a. The problem is like we if we're gonna play Eels at DH, like I don't think he has the power for DH. Um, the bat's fine. I mean, if those were his ratings as a second baseman, I think you take it. So I think the answer here is to either find a power hitting outfielder. Because we can't have Waters, Gilbert, Frelick, and Eels all in the lineup. 45, 45, 30, 35, and Williamson at 30. There's not enough power there. We need to find power somewhere. So let's look at second base. Gorman has got that power, but I guess he could in theory play second. He played third last year, wasn't particularly good. I mean, I don't like the fact that he's a lefty. Elvis Martinez, he's got a little bit of power. He was really bad at second base. Yeah, see, that's the problem, is finding somebody who both has power and is not terrible defensively. Like that's a problem, or that's challenging, right? We're not going to get any of these guys. Let's do it this way. Let's go by power. We don't need the 16-year-olds in there. So Gorman is the best power hitter at second base that's available. Is our lineup heavy lefty or heavy righty? 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 5 lefties against righties. And I guess we could try Gorman. What is this? What is going on here? That's not what I wanted to do. Second base. And we could trade him straight up for Drew Waters. 30 home runs 2 years ago, 29 a year ago, but he's not a second baseman. That's sort of the issue here. What if we do it this way? Let's get rid of that. Dallas has hit 20 plus home runs 5 straight years. When does his contract expire? Where did he go? 2 years at 14. Is Texas looking to move him? Nope. Santander 11-9-7. That's not bad. A little more Kirkering. Switch hitter. He's not very good defensively, so he could be our DH. And then we just play Eels at second. Nope. All right, it's not a problem. We'll keep looking. Brock Jones, no. be realistic about it. Yes, it would be great to bring in Corbin Carroll, but it'd be great to bring in Dylan Cruz. I mean, let's just ask. I could trade them Bobby Witt. Spencer Jones. Nope. I guess part of it is finding a team that maybe is rebuilding. I mean, Sawinski's not a bad option. Good against righties. He's just okay against lefties. And then we're out of the 60s into the 55s. Yeah, I mean, I would really, and there's Bouchard who keeps showing up. Chris Newell. He's going to strike out a crap ton, but I mean, no, just Witt. All right. Butler's just okay. I mean, I would even take a guy that is split heavy. Tucker's a 30-year contract, $30 million contract. Alcantara. There's just not much here. I mean, there's plenty here, but not enough here that would. About like O'Neal Cruz. He's 28. Is Pittsburgh looking to move him? No, just Bobby Witt. Yeah, I'm not really feeling this. Where did Melendez end up? Minnesota. Okay. Not really feeling this. All right, let's. I mean, is Ian Happ the answer? What does he want? I mean, I'm not going to give him 6 years or something ridiculous. I'd be happy to give him like that. Would he take that? He would. 4 years, $70 million for Ian Happ. Make him our starting left fielder. I mean, he's got positional flexibility, but make him our starting left fielder. We lose a third round pick, but I mean, with the way we draft, does that really matter? Mets want to give us Cleonel Perez and Marcos Paz. In exchange for Luca Tresh and Frank Mozzicato. We don't really need Perez, but he's a ground ball guy. Yeah, I mean, we'll make that deal. Sure. Perez has to go on the big league roster. Paz looked like a decent enough arm. Where did the game put him? AAA. I'm not putting him in AAA. We'll start him, or AA, I guess. We'll start him here. Let's get to the Rule 5. Another trade proposal. Marlins would send John Cruz and Anthony Mazzano, getting Taylor Clark and Tony Ruiz. 5 coming up. Anybody that we want to put on the 40-man that isn't? Nobody in AAA. Nobody in AA. I guess we can put Perez on the 40-man. That's going to be it. All right, we are selecting 15th. And we lose Hunter Owen. That's fine. I mean, we were talking about needing a power bat. There was Hunter Owen. Batting potential. Any power bats available? Jose Rodriguez, but he's not particularly good. Not really any bats here. I've seen Blyce develop into a lefty killer with like 75, 80 power, but not in this version. Oldest Chapman. Nothing really here. Not looking. Did he sign a contract? And then, yeah, they just haven't put him on the 40-man yet. Yeah, I mean, meh. Really across the board, right? Shane Baz. Boyle's one of those guys whose stuff never develops. We're going to go ahead and skip the Rule 5. Nothing that really stands out to me. They made him a reliever. I mean, we needed power, and we just let a guy go with 70 potential power. I mean, it was a mistake. That was a mistake on my part, but that's okay. Spencer Torkelson, taken by the Diamondbacks. All right, so we're waiting on Ian Happ. We have a 3rd-round pick, but 4 years at 17, I think, is acceptable. We're just kind of going a day at a time here until we hear back. I'm not going to get into a bidding war for Ian Happ. All right, trade proposal, Ryan Waldschmidt, Elias Gonzalez. No. Nothing happening there yet. Well, you can see the only one I'm concerned about is Gilbert with the struggling. Everybody else will probably end up okay. The clock kick over to January. We're into January now. Heimer Candelario to the Giants. We need to go to international amateurs and run practice. Let's just get up to international amateurs, I guess. All right, so we got Ian Happ. We give up the 3rd-round pick. We get fan interest bump. Our fan interest right now is at 75. I don't think we're going to get a budget increase. In fact, we may take a hit here. We will see, though. All right, so we Happ and Webb is our off season this year, and Romo. I don't want to forget about Romo. We lose Sal Perez, kicks us back down to a 70. Come on. All right, are we going to try to game the system here a little bit? Goldie. It's 12 million. I'm okay offering Jake Lamb a $740 million or $740,000 contract. I don't love doing this, but I don't mind eating a little bit of money to get bumps to our and it's literally a little bit of money. No problem. Let's see if we'll get, I don't know if we'll get the bumps, fan interest bumps. All right, international signing, international amateurs. We should have, yeah, we got 5.235 million. We got Ruben Abayeta. Looks all right, but I think we're gonna go for a bats. We got Bobby Barreo. Looks better than all right. Looks really good, but I think there are better options like Luis Paulino, Big Jim, Angel Jaimes. I think we go Paulino. Durable 16-year-old, probably a second baseman right now with those ratings, has the high work ethic. So what do we have? 5-2. Oh, okay. My international complex is, why is my international complex full? Do I have this set or not set correctly? Yep, I want this on default. Let's get rid of these guys. Go back here and offer Paulino 5230. 5230. See if we can get him locked in. Unfortunately, we're not going to sign those players prior to the start of preseason, which is what would give us that fan interest bump and then in turn a budget increase. Okay, so we didn't lose any money, which is good. Fan interest. We get the bump for 3-point bump for Syndergaard, which is good. We're going to get to spring training and then we're going to call it. So, yeah, an off season. Spent a little bit of money. We have an ace in Logan Webb, assuming he is healthy. Yep, let's go ahead and do that. Yeah, we got an ace in Webb, assuming he comes back ready to go. We pick up Ian Happ to help solidify, probably a number 2 hitter. Bat him behind Eels. And then that allows us to bat Witt in the 3-hole, get more RBI opportunities for him. So a couple of guys with good batting eyes at the top of the lineup. Kind of like the idea of that. And lean heavily on our bullpen, right? So right now this is probably our rotation, and we lean heavily on our pen. We'll give Hampton a shot once we get into spring training. Let's get to February and see if any of our players take massive dives. Frustrated. Garrett got worse. It's fine. We're only paying him 1.2, but he was good last year. Magana, Paulino, of course, dips right away because that's just what happens. Let's get up to spring training. So, yeah, 80 and 82 a year ago. Are we over 500 this year? If you've watched the video to this point, let me know in the comments if you think we will end up over 500 this season. Again, I think if you can win 85 games, you have a chance here in the AL Central. So what I'm going to do is offline, I'm going to sim the preseason, and I will get us to opening day. In the next episode, we will do opening day, May, and June. So that's going to do it here, guys, for the off season. Let me know how you think we did. I'm happy with it. I am happy with Logan Webb as our new ace. Let me know your thoughts. I'm happy with him as that number 1, bumps everybody down a bit. Webb is a true number 1 workhorse, and that bumps everybody down a bit, which I think You tell me your thoughts and let me know how you think we're going to do this year. All right. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll talk to everybody soon.